And my rant is directed at Roger Goodell. All these ridiculous fines that are being handed out to defensive players doing what they were taught to do since they first put the pads on, it's criminal. You know, ever since I was a little kid, they taught you to hit with your helmet, to try to knock the guy out and separate the offensive player from the ball. And now you've seen great hits every week from the NFL, and the player that's delivering the blows, they're getting punished. The first one that comes to mind is when Dante Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons laid out Deshaun Jackson. The first thing I thought was, woo, that was an awesome hit, but guess what happened? Dante was fined, he was flagged, and I know he knocked himself out, but that doesn't matter. That's just part of the sport. And what Roger Goodell and these other decision makers need to realize is that we as players, we understand that this is a violent sport. We're taking chances with our lives, with our health, and we know that we could get injured. But that's why they pay us the big bucks, and we understand that, and that's the part of the game that people love. You either love seeing the long touchdowns or the big hits, and right now they're getting rid of the big hits, and I'm afraid that this game that I love, that I grew up playing, won't be the same in the future because of people who've never put on a jockstrap making decisions for the guys who go out on the field.
Spoken like a true defensive player who played 12 years. Concussions are up 21%. What do you think about that?
It's a part of the game, you know, and I don't want to sound heartless. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but guess what? You're going to get hurt in football. I had 4 surgeries. I knew what I was getting myself into. My next door neighbor, Lamar Latham, I'm sure you've heard of him, he had 30 surgeries, and nobody's crying about our injuries, about our pains, because we all have decisions to make. We decided to lace up the cleats, put on the pads, and go out there and fight for 3 hours on Sundays, and that's just what's going to happen. If you don't like it, go get another job.
It's a good thing you're not working in the NFL front office, and I don't think you ever will be. Now, I got a rant. We got 32 billionaire owners, and you know what? It drives me crazy that they can't get a collective bargaining agreement done. It looks like there's going to be a lockout. Now, difference in a lockout and a strike is by the players. The players want football the way it is now. It's prosperous for everybody. TV ratings and attendance are through the roof. It's been a fabulous season for everybody, fans, owners, players, anybody that keeps up with the NFL. Now, the problem is the owners can't keep themselves from giving guaranteed contracts of $41 million to Albert Haynesworth, $41.7 million to Matthew Stafford, $50 million from Sam Bradford. So what they do is they come to the players with their hat in their hands and they say, please, save us from ourselves. Well, why should the players do that? The players agreed to the last collective bargaining agreement. Both sides could have opted out. It wasn't the players, it was the owners. So when we go without football, don't be blaming the players. You blame the owners, blame the billionaires. They're the ones that got themselves in this situation right now. Indy, you're almost in a position to be an owner as a billionaire. What do you think about that?
First of all, I need about $1 billion more to be a billionaire, but I think you're absolutely right, and it'll be a travesty if there's a lockout. And I like what you said. You explained that it'll be a lockout and it'll be the owner's decision to stop play and not the players. So I'm glad you pointed that out.